Hello everyone and welcome to my Bachelor Nation 24 channel, I hope. Everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. D2TS, Joey Graziadei gets support from Kelsey's dad Mark. As Joey Graziadei continues impressing fans in the ballroom, he also has several cheerleaders at home. In addition to his friends, family, and fiancée Kelsey Anderson, he has his future father-in-law's stamp of approval too. The Golden Bachelorette contestant Mark Anderson is thoroughly impressed with Joey's dancing skills. After this week's episode, Mark gave Joey a special shout-out on Instagram. Read on to see what he said. Mark Anderson cheers on Joey Graziadei and Jenna Johnson. Members of Bachelor Nation generally have unbridled support from fans. DTTS Season 33 features two members, Joey Graziadei and Jen Tran, and both seem to be making remarkable progress in the ballroom. During Oscars night, Joey and his partner Jenna Johnson performed the rumba to Shallow by Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper. They earned a 22/30ths for their routine, solidifying their place among the top performers in the competition. D2TS fans weren't the only ones impressed. Mark Anderson also made his thoughts clear on their rumba. "I am just saying, in my humble opinion, this man can dance. Fantastic performance, Joey and Jenna." Wow, Mark captioned his Instagram post. He attached a photo of Joey and Jenna's performance on Tuesday night. "Appreciate the support, Mark," Joey wrote back. Instagram users loved the display of camaraderie between Mark and Joey. In a world where so many in-laws are constantly at odds, it was nice to see Mark support Joey. Comments included, "A future father-in-law supporting his daughter's partner. That's a very green flag to me." "I'd agree and was absolutely stunning. Gorgeous lines, they were magnificent. Great job to both of them, just magical. Deserved 9s. Their routine has me in tears. It was so beautiful. He did an amazing job. You have to be so proud. Could this team bring home the Mirrorball trophy?" The Bachelorettes generally perform well, and it's not at all uncommon to see them in the final. However, the Bachelor stars typically don't make it as far. Many believe Joey Graziadei is going to change that. Jenna Johnson is also a fan-favorite pro dancer and commands a lot of respect in the ballroom. If anyone can help Joey get to the finale, it's her. But to keep them in the competition, they'll need votes from fans at home. Joey Graziadei stood at the edge of the stage, eyes scanning the dazzling lights above the ballroom floor, his breath quickening as he tried to calm his racing heart. It was a moment he had dreamed about but never imagined would feel so intense. The crowd roared with excitement, awaiting the next performance, and Joey knew that this was no ordinary night on Dancing with the Stars. He had prepared for weeks, pouring every ounce of energy into perfecting his movements, nailing the intricate choreography, and adding just the right flair to impress both the judges and the audience. But tonight, there was something different about his determination. Tonight, he had a secret weapon, support from someone he hadn't expected. Kelsey's dad, Mark. The whole thing felt surreal. Joey had never thought of himself as a dancer, let alone someone who would take part in such an iconic competition. When he first met Kelsey, they bonded over their mutual love for adventure, spontaneity, and of course, the reality TV whirlwind that had brought them together. But dancing? That was an entirely different story. Kelsey, ever the cheerleader in his life, had been pushing him to do something outside of his comfort zone for months. When the opportunity for D2TS came knocking, she practically shoved him through the door. But Mark? Mark was a different character altogether. Mark had always been a figure of quiet strength in Joey's life since he started dating Kelsey. A man of few words, he was protective of his daughter and certainly not the type to gush or fawn. Joey respected that. Mark was the kind of guy you'd want in your corner during a storm. Solid, reliable, and unshakable. So when Kelsey told Joey that her dad was planning on coming to watch his performance, Joey couldn't quite believe it. "He's really coming?" Joey had asked her, not quite masking the surprise in his voice. "Of course he is. He's so proud of you, Joey, Kelsey had replied with a reassuring smile. He may not say much, but he's all in. That stuck with Joey. Mark's approval mattered more than he'd realized. And knowing he was in the crowd tonight gave Joey an extra boost of confidence, a fire in his belly that refused to be extinguished by the nerves. As Joey glanced across the room, his eyes landed on Mark sitting in the audience, his usual composed demeanor softened by the warm glow of the stage lights. There he was, Kelsey's dad, who had flown across the country just to watch him dance. It meant the world to Joey, more than words could convey. The music started, and Joey's body reacted instinctively, launching into the routine with his dance partner. It was a sultry tango, filled with sharp movements, passion, and tension that ebbed and flowed with each step. Joey felt the rhythm in his bones, the audience's eyes on him, and Mark's silent support from the front row. Every spin, every precise turn, every lift. It was all fueled by something more profound than technique. It was as if Mark's presence acted as a tether, grounding Joey in the moment while propelling him forward. For the first time since starting this journey, he felt like he belonged on that stage, like he could be more than just the guy from reality TV. He could hear Kelsey's voice in his head, encouraging, loving, proud. But it was Mark's steady gaze that kept him focused, made him dig deeper into the performance. He had something to prove tonight, not just to the judges or the audience, but to Mark. Joey wanted to show him that he was worthy, not just of the competition, but of Kelsey's love, of the respect that Mark had already silently offered by being here. The final dip arrived. Joey swept his partner off her feet, holding her elegantly as the music crescendoed. The audience erupted into applause, and Joey felt the surge of relief mixed with elation. He had done it. He had left it all on the dance floor. As the lights dimmed and Joey and his partner bowed, he couldn't help but steal a glance at Mark. There he was, standing tall, a rare but genuine smile pulling at the corners of his mouth. Joey's heart swelled. Kelsey was clapping wildly beside her father, but it was Mark's quiet nod of approval that resonated the most. Backstage, Joey could barely contain his emotions. He was buzzing with adrenaline, still processing the whirlwind of the night. His phone vibrated in his hand, and he saw a message from Kelsey. "Dad's so proud of you. He just said you're like family to him." Joey blinked at the words, feeling a lump rise in his throat. Family. That was something sacred, something real. And coming from Mark, it was the highest compliment Joey could have ever received. Later, when the show had wrapped and the glitz and glamour of the night began to fade, Joey found himself standing in the hallway with Kelsey and her father. Mark extended his hand, his face as unreadable as ever, but there was a warmth behind his eyes that hadn't been there before. "You did good, Joey," Mark said, his voice gruff but sincere. "Real good." Joey shook his hand firmly, feeling a weight lift off his shoulders. It wasn't just about the dance anymore. It wasn't about impressing the judges or making it to the next round. It was about earning a place in Mark's world, a place Joey now realized he had wanted all along. As they walked out of the building together, Kelsey beaming by his side, Joey couldn't help but glance over at Mark again. The man who rarely spoke had just given him the one thing he'd been seeking, acceptance, and that Joey thought was worth more than any trophy. The competition was far from over, but in that moment, Joey knew that no matter what happened next, he had already won something far more valuable.